Welcome to today's episode. I am Chris, and I'm so glad that you're here because we're diving into a topic that hits home for every entrepreneur at some point in their journey. We're talking about the one most challenging moment every business owner faces when it comes to giving it your all and yet feeling like no one cares. You've worked late nights, sacrificed weekends, and poured your time, money, energy into building something, building your dream, something you believe in, only to be met with silence. No emails, no phone calls, no engagement, and certainly no customers lining up. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and let's be honest, it's downright disheartening. And if we're if we're any if you, and if you're anything like me, you're probably asking yourself, what is the point of all of this if no one's noticing? But here's the thing. Every successful business owner, every entrepreneur who has made it to the other side has been through this exact phase. It's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's simply a challenge that requires you to adapt, refine, and keep moving forward. Let's get real for a second. When I first started Anderson Business Group, I thought I had everything figured out. I had spent months and months crafting offerings. I have done my research and I created solutions that I truly believed in that other small businesses needed. I was confident. I was ready. And I thought as soon as I launched, the calls and the emails would just start rolling in. But guess what? Nothing happened. Not a single inquiry. And let me tell you, that was a tough pill to swallow. I remember sitting at my desk thinking, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe no one cares. And from that moment, I believed it. For that moment, I believed it. But then I realized something critical. It isn't failure, it's feedback. Business isn't personal, it's data. And the data, whenever it floods in, whether it's silence or roaring, that's invaluable. One of the biggest mind shifts I had to make was understanding that people don't buy products or services. They buy solutions to their problems. So let me say this again. People buy solutions to problems they care about. I was focused on what I thought was important, I hadn't stopped to consider what my potential customers actually needed. I wasn't speaking their language. My messaging wasn't connecting with their pain points. So I shifted my presentation and I shifted my perspective. I started asking, what problems am I solving? How can I make that clear to my audience? And what that shift made all the difference. If people aren't responding, it doesn't necessarily mean your product is wrong. It might just mean your messaging isn't clear or your timing isn't right. It may not be the right time in the market for you. Here's another lesson I learned early on. Hard work does not always equal results. Can you be working around the clock, hustling every minute of the day, and still your actions don't align with what your clear strategy is? You're just making the wheels spin. Yes, that can happen. In the early days of my business, I was doing everything. I was posting on social medias, attending network events, running ads, you name it. I was doing everything I thought of. I thought, if I can do more, something will stick. But here's the reality. Activity and productivity are not the same thing. Being busy does not mean being effective. To break out of this cycle, you need clarity. Ask yourself, who is my audience? What problem am I solving for them? And am I showing up in the places that they already are spending time? Or am I just throwing content into the void? Am I just throwing it out there for no one to see? Pardon the interruption, but amazing news. Right now on Amazon, you can purchase The Sales Mindset and Unleash Your Potential, written by yours truly, both available in English and in Spanish. Links are in the descriptions below. Let's talk about consistency. In today's world, we're so used to instant gratification. We send marketing emails and we expect leads the next day. We post on social media and check the likes every hour, and then nothing happens. We feel defeated. But here's the truth: success does not happen overnight. It is a result of small, consistent effort, compounding over time. When I launched Anderson Business Group, I posted on LinkedIn every single day for 6 months. 6 months of silence. No inquiries, no leads, just crickets. But I didn't stop because I believed in the process. And then out of nowhere, I got a message from someone who had been following my posts quietly all along. That one message led to an opportunity that changed everything. The lesson here: you never know who's watching. Consistency builds credibility. Even when it feels like no one's paying attention, they are. You're being watched, even when you don't know it. Let's be honest. Feedback, though, can become uncomfortable. When things aren't working, the last thing you want to do is ask people why. But feedback is a gift. It's one of the most powerful tools for growth. I've worked with business owners who are struggling to sell their services. A few conversations with their customers, they discovered that just small changes, tweaks in their message, in their offerings, it made all the difference. For example, one cleaning business I worked with couldn't sell their high-end packages. They assumed their clients just didn't want premium services. They didn't have the money, was what they thought. But after gathering some feedback, they realized the issue wasn't the service. It was the way it was being framed. Their clients wanted flexibility, not luxury. A simple adjustment on how they presented their services led to a significant increase in their booking. They went to where the customer needed them, where they were. So here's something I wish I have known sooner. Business is about progress, not perfection. Not anyone goes right away and everything works perfect. The key is to launch, listen, adjust, and repeat. It's a continuing cycle of refinement. But so many entrepreneurs get stuck because they expect perfection right out of the gate. I'm one of them. When it doesn't happen, they feel like they failed. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the progress. Every setback is feedback. Every challenge is another opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. The entrepreneurs who succeed aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who embrace it and who use it as a stepping stone to move forward. Don't give up just because it gets hard or you fail. Resilience is one of the most important traits you can develop as an entrepreneur. There will be days when you want to quit, when you question your decisions, your strategies, and even yourself. But the key is to keep going. Resilience isn't about being tough. It's about being adaptable. It's about asking what's not working and what can I do differently, looking at it from the outside in. There were moments when I thought about walking away from my businesses. The silence was deafening. But every time I hit that wall, I reminded myself that success is often just one step beyond that point. It's beyond the point of where we normally quit. So keep going. So in closing, I want us to just remember, if you're feeling stuck right now, I want you to know you're not alone. Every entrepreneur faces this. The key is to keep going, using every setback as a learning opportunity. Stay consistent, stay focused, and remember, your breakthrough might be closer than you think. Thank you for spending time with me today, for joining and listening to this. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone. Share it with someone who could use it, who needs to hear it. Keep moving forward. And remember, you got this. You're amazing. Don't stop.